Hello and welcome to News Center. I'm Parikshit Luthra. It has been 2 weeks since Hamas's surprise attack on Israel triggered a full-blown war in Gaza. More than 5,000 people have lost their lives in the conflict. This includes about 4,000 Palestinians and 1,400 Israelis. The Israeli army says it struck over 100 targets across Gaza and multiple Hezbollah sites in southern Lebanon overnight. The airstrikes hit an Orthodox Greek church in Gaza, which was sheltering around 500 Palestinians, hinting at a ground offensive in Gaza. As Israel's defense minister said, the troops will soon see Gaza from the inside. The Israel army also claims to have killed terrorists in an airstrike in West Bank's Nur Shams. As per the Palestinian Health Authority, 13 people, including 5 children, were killed in these strikes. I caught up with Hagar Spirotal, political advisor at the Israeli embassy in New Delhi, and began by asking her about Joe Biden's commitment of support to Israel.
We are very grateful to American President Biden for his clear support for Israel and for the understanding that Hamas is a terrorist movement that must be fought by all means in order to eliminate it. President Biden addressed the need to fight terrorism very clearly also during his visit to Israel. Israel and the United States are close allies who share similar values and defend them. And it is important for me to point out that we are in a war that we did not want, a war that we did not start, a war that was forced upon us. So the war will continue until we succeed in achieving the goals that we have set for ourselves, which is to fight Hamas with all our might in order to eliminate it. Right. We hope that we will be able to do this quickly, but it is difficult to estimate at the moment how long will it take.
Right. Hagar, we'd also like to understand from you, what is the ultimate objective of this war? How long could this actually go on? And what is the post-war plan?
Well, the goal, as I mentioned, is to severely damage the entire infrastructure of Hamas, not to allow it to operate and to guarantee the safe return of the abductees. Israel will not agree to continue living alongside the terrorist organization that includes in its charter the goal of the annihilation of Israel. So we have undergone a brutal and barbaric attack by a terrorist organization operating in the name of fanatical ideology. Families were murdered and burned after torturing, raping, and murdering of young people who came to the party to only celebrate peace. So horrors, that we have no words to describe their cruelty. Children and civilians are kidnapped.
Right.
And, we see all the demonstrations around the world in favor of the resistance, and I'm asking what resistance? Of beheading, of rape, of burning babies. These things must not be legitimized.
Right. Would you be able to tell us, and we have been reading reports about where Hamas militants likely got the weapons from. There are reports talking about involvement of North Korean weapons in the attack on Israel. Anything that the Israel government has been able to identify somehow, the origin, the source of weapons which Hamas has used?
Well, Iran, I would say, is a cause of instability. Iran is destabilizing the region for many years. Iran is arming, training, financing Hamas, both Hamas and Hezbollah. Iran's actions are the ones that may cause terrorism to spill over to other countries. This is what I can say at this point in time.
Let me ask you about the possibility of a ceasefire. There is also pressure on Israel as it continues with its objectives to give a humanitarian corridor, allow aid to come into Gaza. What is the situation on that front?
Yeah. So at the moment, a ceasefire is not on the agenda. We've only just begun the war, and it might take some time to achieve the goal of the war, to eliminate Hamas and to restore security to the people of Israel. It is clear to us that our neighbors, in the area are watching how we respond. We need to act now with determination and show that we will not allow threats against Israel that will not be met with a clear response. We are not targeting Palestinian civilian population. We have no intention of harming it. Hamas is the one putting them in danger, hiding infrastructure and ammunition in residential areas and firing rockets from houses. Hamas endangers the Palestinians and uses them as human shields, and this should be condemned.
All right, so we continue to track the situation in Gaza very closely. Moving on to the aviation.